my messages or what I teach has always been geared or directed to an incredibly small audience. There may be people that would watch my videos, and as you can tell, not many. And there's a reason for that. This world is the kingdom of Satan, or other people say Lucifer. On the east side, say India, in Hinduism, they would refer to him as Shiva. And he is the god of this world. He is the sole creator of money in this world. I know they say the Federal Reserve and Rothschild and all of this blah, 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 but that's all a smokescreen. And you can't function without money in this world or in our society. So that's one issue in play. I've had others say that because of some of my artwork and stuff that, oh, I must be a 33rd degree Mason or something because of my understanding and knowledge and stuff. And nothing further can be from the truth, because they get their learning, first off, they're satanic, but they get their learning from books and from other people teaching, and that goes on and on and on and on and on until they get 33rd degree, and then it goes. And then I'm not speaking from experience, because I've never been in a Masonic lodge, and I've never actually known anyone that's a Mason, because I just don't associate with them. And I have no animosity for them, but I just don't associate with them. Now, why is there this perceived enmity between the good and bad, supposedly? And there's a reason for that. And the reason is, see, because in this world, as Jesus defined it, the kingdom of Lucifer here on this planet, people like me, I have absolutely no animosity whatsoever, no hatred, nothing towards Shiva, towards Lucifer, towards Satan, towards any of these people. And when I say these people, they represent the vast majority of the population of this planet. Like well over 2/3 are deeply entrenched, whether they know it or not. And when I say whether they know it or not, it's because they're reincarnated time after time after time, and they have an inclination towards following Lucifer. Now, if they see Lucifer as the bringer of light, and so it's upside down from my perspective, which is the bringer of darkness, is what the way I see it. So why is there this enmity? Well, because you've read many times in different things that they talk about Lucifer was kicked out of heaven, blah, 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 blah. Well, that's not really entirely true, because there's no such thing as heaven right now. But there is a kingdom where Jesus is the king, just like this is the kingdom of Lucifer. And in that particular kingdom, or in that particular realm, or on that particular planet, or whatever you want to refer to it as, Lucifer and those that follow Lucifer, or at least look up to Lucifer as their king, their head guru, so to say, they were expelled from that particular place where Jesus is seen as king. Now, how were they expelled? Just like they would be expelled in any environment where there's no physicality involved. So, in other words, if if you saw reality as just completely illusory, and all you are is an awareness, is what some people call you, or an essence, and there's no real physicality whatsoever, then you can come and go as you please or whatever. But you do not have to put up with people that like to control you or want to do things that you don't want to do or force you or whatever. So that is the kingdom where Jesus is the king. And what maintains that oneness? Well, it's love. There's no rules or laws or this or that or whatever. There's just one rule. It's called love. That's it. There's no more to it. And those that followed Lucifer had a different idea of how to proceed on the path to becoming one with God, because nobody's ever seen God. Even Jesus mentioned that. Now, that doesn't mean other people like myself or Jesus or whoever hasn't experienced God, and not the way gurus teach, because they don't teach, they lie basically, and their God, yeah, they've experienced God, certainly, but the God that they've experienced is Lucifer, not the God that Jesus prayed to. So anyways, because they were expelled, there's this enmity, because they like making rules and regulations and everything. If there's no one for them to force and cause friction with, so to say, spiritual friction, then they cause it amongst themselves, because that's just the way it is. And so they were expelled. And being expelled from this utopian type reality, they were quite upset that they were expelled. And how were they expelled? They just were excused. I'm not going to put up with that. And so I don't have to, because my thinking, because there's nothing, because you can control everything. Because if everything, it's like Jesus walked on water or raised the dead or whatever. If you're at that level of spiritual understanding and advanced understanding of things, you can do that sort of thing. Well, so by doing so, they were expelled. Now, that's where the enmity comes from. Now, here's the issue. Because to further your honing your skills, or being able to increase your faith, build the strengths to your spirit essence that are necessary, we're here on this planet. We are the interlopers in their environment. And so that's why, you think about it, that's why they don't like people like myself, because it's like we kicked them out where Jesus is, and they had to come here where there's summer, winter, there's disease, there's all kinds of stuff that, well, it's not the most comfortable in the world. Of course, if you are the creator of money, you and your kind can live a lifestyle that's pretty close to being a utopian type situation, but not exactly, because you still have to fight the disease and cold weather, etc., etc., which you do not have to deal with on that realm of existence where Jesus is king. So now we come here to experience reality, and the reality we're here to experience is those difficult situations like hailstorms and forest fires and disease and death. We're all going to die. See, that's the situation here. We're all going to die. Lucifer doesn't die. Him and his top lieutenants are immortal. They don't die. They're eternal here on, just like we are on the other realm where we are, so to say, absent now, and now we're here. Well, since we kicked them out, so to say, they don't like us. They want to kick us out. Now, we, meaning people like me, I have no animosity for them. I'm not here to be the whipping child of them. I'm here to experience this particular reality, to experience death eventually, and to experience the hardships that are here, but also the beauty that's here. That's what I'm here for. They're like imprisoned here. Now, the ones that are highly advanced, spiritually speaking, are quite aware of the fact that their bodies are no different than an automobile in a video game, if you will. I mean, so these are the advanced ones. And this is why they can engage in such incredibly dangerous situations where, they do human sacrifices and all of these sorts of things where, if they get caught, they might get the death penalty, or people might hunt them down and kill them, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, so, yeah, these people that are highly advanced realize that if they do die, they're reborn again. They're reborn again with another automobile body. You know what I mean? Their physical body. They're quite aware of this. They're not necessarily afraid of death because it's not like they have a belief. They know for a surety that they're just going to be reborn again and reborn into a good situation. I mean, it's being accused of being a Mason is like, well, the top ones, they understand who their God is, and it's Lucifer. But I'm not saying that in a negative, connotative way. They believe Lucifer is God, just like any good Christian might believe God is God or what they think of Jesus. But that's hard to get through people's minds when they see reality from their perspective. But others see reality from their perspective. It's this friction. That's the enmity that was spoken of by Jesus between good and evil, if you will. But it's hard to say good and evil because you see how judged according to what, Judged according to the Satanists, good is the evil to these and vice versa. And there's no way to know, well, I mean, there is a way to know, but there's no way, the judgment doesn't take place until the kalpa of time is over, which is billions and billions of years. And when the kalpa of time is over, the Big Bang, if you want to call it that even, then everything will be hashed out, and there's no such thing as hell. Those that followed Lucifer don't go to hell for all eternity. There's no such thing as jailers that watch over hell that are there getting paid by God or something. That's hokey pokey crazy thinking. There's no such thing as hell. They simply are excused from the realm of God, just like they were excused from the realm of Jesus. They're expelled from the realm of God. And since when the end of this kalpa of time is over, there is no such thing as reality. So where do they go? They go back to total darkness, which is Brahman in that type of teaching. Anyways, I just wanted to put that out there because I am going out of town to McDermott, Nevada, but it's another week from now, and maybe I'll have another time to produce a video. I'm going up there with my son to help him. He's got a lot of experience in construction, but his forte was more into the medical field to start with. He was thinking that direction. And then he's decided to become an accountant and blah, 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 blah. The bottom line is he's not satisfied with any of those things. So he's going back to construction. And since I've been in construction since a teenager, in addition to being a professional firefighter, he learned a lot. But he didn't pay attention. So I'm going up there to help oversee and teach him and I'll be up there for about a month. So if you're ever out in the middle of nowhere, and I do mean nowhere, that town is like 100 people or something, I'll be there helping him build out a Subway sandwich place for a motel facility. And that ought to be fun. It's a good time to get out and see the nothingness after I'm done with the motel and all that kind of, the Subway and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, as I said, this message is for the incredibly rare few, because the path, if you're on that path, you will bifurcate from every living human being on the planet. I mean, you will. I mean, that's just the way it is. You may think you're going to have friends and all that kind of stuff, but you're not. I mean, you will to a certain extent, but if you continue to go on that path and be similar to Jesus, or similar to Buddha, or similar to Lao Tzu, or similar to Krishna, or similar to any of these enlightened individuals that, you know, got the full measure of enlightenment, if you're on that path, yeah, chances that you're going to be in a group of people are zero, because you're on a planet where Lucifer is the king. And so to think that you're going to find a group or anyone that is enlightened that you can rub shoulders with, so to say, is magical thinking. I mean, it's in the cards that it will never be that way. That's why it's so difficult to find the path to spiritual enlightenment. That's why so few ever find it. It's, you follow a path and you're a Christian or a Buddhist or Hindu or Sanatana Dharma or whatever it is that you think it is that you're on the path to, you eventually get further and further and further and further away from those that are teaching and everything. And then you're totally and utterly on your own. And you have to find that connection straight up. I say up, but you know, it's nowhere. I mean, but you have to find that spiritual connection with the Creator, with the one that Jesus prayed to the God that is creating everything as we speak. You have to find that connection, and it's not easy. I'm telling you, it is not easy for anyone. I don't care how good you are or how dedicated you are. It is not easy. It is the most difficult thing, and it can't even be described as to how difficult it is. But some people have that essence within them, just power, driving and driving and driving to find their source. And that's the purpose of this life in the kingdom of Lucifer. I mean, that's the purpose of it. It really is. If you were in Las Vegas, where I live, well, hey, welcome. Well, maybe I'll go out to a latte with you or whatever. I'd be more than happy to be your friend through it. But whether or not you would be able to sustain that friendship, who the heck knows? Since I've already told you that it's so rare to find that path, it would be absolutely incredibly difficult to maintain that friendship with someone that's trying to help you along the path, because it's so it is incredibly difficult. I'm just telling you, it's because you have to abandon all your thoughts and all your fears. I mean, there can be zero fear in you. I mean, like the only thing you can't get rid of fear by thinking it away or rationalizing it away or educating yourself. There's no way, if you're an aware human being and you have the mental capacity to be aware, the only way to eliminate fear is replacing it with the pure essence of love. And when you are nothing but pure love, then you don't have to get rid of fear, because fear just evaporates. It just is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. And then that's how you move forward, because there is no other way to move forward unless you have pure love in you. Otherwise, fear creeps in, and then you follow a different path. But when you have no fear, well, even confronting God isn't a difficult challenge. It's like, hey, God, how's it going? I've been looking forward to seeing you. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way or in disrespectful. I don't mean it that way. I mean it in an absolute, utter friendship based upon pure love. And that's how it would be. I mean, if you were to want to fall at the feet of this God, that may be your prerogative. Or you may offer a handshake. Hey, it's been a long time. I've been on this path for billions of years, and I'm so excited to finally meet you. I'm just, oh man, this is just awesome. I mean, maybe that's the way you react. Others may react by bowing. Others may react by kissing his feet. I don't know. Every individual is different. But when the pure love is within your heart, there's no fear. Do you see? Most people, all Christians, talk about the fear of God. Well, that's because they're on the wrong path. They belong to the Church of Lucifer. All of them, all Christianity churches are based upon the Luciferian teachings. The Bible is based upon Luciferian teachings. So, anyways, I just thought I'd throw that out there. And if I make another video this weekend before I take off, yeah, maybe I will. I don't know. Anyways, I love you, and I appreciate those that listen. I really do. Because I look forward to an eternity with those that are one with God. I think it would be absolutely awesome. I mean, there's nothing better than that when you think about it. There is absolutely nothing better than the true friendship of love. Everything else pales in comparison. But, of course, those that follow Lucifer cannot understand that. There's no way for them to understand. It's impossible. Because they follow that path of rules and regulations and concepts and fear and blah, blah, blah. It just goes on and on and on and on. So what I teach, I got directly from vertical. I mean, yeah, I read, I studied just like everybody else, but the uniqueness of what I teach isn't in books anywhere, unless I wrote them. And honestly, the stuff that I write, I'll probably destroy it all before I die, because I see how everything gets corrupted eventually. I see why Jesus said, when I'm gone, what I teach, I mean, it's the power, the livingness of it is gone. And anyone that does refer to Jesus as their Savior or whatever, you're not going to find anything in a book. You have to get that vertical. The connection has to be vertical, because if it's through the book, it's satanic. They worship an idol, call it a holy Bible, whatever. But it's certainly an idol, and it certainly isn't God, unless you refer to Lucifer as your God. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Again, I say I love you, and talk to you later. Bye.